New voices trying to get the Federal Aviation Administration to deal with close calls at Austin's airport.
After 5 near collisions among planes in the past year, Austin city leaders now want the FAA to do more to staff up our air traffic control tower. Here's KVUE's Ford Sanders.
5 close calls in the span of a year on Austin's runways.
Expressing those concerns directly to the FAA and encouraging the city manager to have those discussions also is paramount.
Austin City Council member Mackenzie Kelly is co-sponsoring a resolution that would urge the city manager to put pressure on the FAA to address safety.
We need to do everything we can to encourage the FAA to hire, recruit, and train those individuals to the highest level possible. And that's not just at ABIA, that's at every airport across the country.
That resolution, which will come up Thursday, highlights these 5 close calls here in the past year. One in November 2022 between Southwest and American Airlines planes, February 2023 between a Southwest plane and a FedEx cargo jet, April 2023 between Southwest and SkyWest planes, June 2023 between Allegiant Airlines and a small private aircraft, and the most recent in September between a military jet and a private plane. City leaders acknowledge there's not much they can do except call on the FAA for change. This is an issue Austin Congressman Lloyd Doggett has highlighted too.
The one I was particularly concerned with is where a FedEx plane almost landed on top of a Southwest Airlines packed passenger plane.
Southwest aboard. FedEx is on the go.
That's the one from February. This reenactment shows that the planes got within 100 feet of each other. It's why Doggett also says the FAA needs to increase staffing and resources at Austin's airport.
We've got 35 plus 7 trainees, which gets us to 42. Well, that's not sufficient because many of those trainees are not, they're trainees. They're not fully qualified to do all aspects of air traffic control.
In response to the city's new call for change, the FAA sent KVUE a statement that read in part, quote, "One serious close call is one too many. The FAA maintains extremely conservative standards for keeping aircraft safely separated, and multiple layers of safety protect the traveling public. Safety experts follow up on all events and evaluate them for risks, and we hold annual runway safety meetings at every airport with a control tower." Both Kelly and Doggett agree these issues can't be taken lightly with lives at risk.
And I would want to know that my elected officials are aware of what's going on and willing to do what it takes to get some changes, because that's what's needed.
Congressman Doggett told me he's set to meet with the FAA's newly confirmed administrator next week. And the U.S. Senate's Aviation Safety Subcommittee plans to meet this Thursday in Washington, D.C. to take up recent close calls. In the studio, Ford Sanders, KVUE News.
Thank you, Ford. City leaders say they also want to learn more about safety on the ground at our airport after 2 deadly accidents on the tarmac. Last Tuesday, a worker died after being hit by a fuel truck. And back in April, an American Airlines employee died after a ground service vehicle hit a jet bridge. In a city memo published today, the interim city manager says he's asked the aviation department's interim director to figure out what they can do to address safety measures that are outside the city's direct control.